Thank you for coming back to Polka Dot Mailbox, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm doing some fun projects with wax seal stamps, and I am going to sort of add an interesting element to these 3x4 cut-aparts. I believe these are from Pink Fresh Studio, and I've had them in my stash for a while, and I think they actually will work really well with this project that I have in mind. So I just want to add a wax seal to each one of these cards to add a new element of interest to them, and it doesn't really take away from the word or design on the card, but it gives an element of some sort of a different texture as well as like a 3D kind of feel to them. So I've gone ahead and put some different types of stamps on my wax seals, poured the wax onto the card directly, and then just gone ahead and put the seals in place. Then I start getting the next round of wax ready for the melting. And I'm actually using some old wax that didn't sit right when I was trying to take it off. It broke, so instead of throwing that away, I actually reused that wax as well as some of the beads, and here you can see what they look like as a finished product. So those turned out really well, and I'm going to come in and actually do a little bit of coloring to highlight those images. So first one here, we have black word awesome, so I thought I would use my black colored marker to highlight those awesome stacking teacups, which kind of remind me of a Alice in Wonderland kind of theme. And then this one here with the little stories, I've got this cat and I'm just highlighting it. Again, there's some black in the card, so I thought that that was a good color to come in and highlight that with. So now I'm going to move on to the next cards in this set of series. I'm going to look through and see kind of which ones really have a good space to put a wax seal, and as well which ones I think I'd like to share with my pen pal. So I found some very interesting designs. I mean, probably any of them could work out really well. And I'll go in and change up some of the stamps from ones that I have in my collection, just to add a little bit of variety. And the stamps are very neutral for the most part. There's just birds, owls, animals, and the happy mail stamp and the cups. So nothing that's very themed. Like I have seen stamps that are Christmas or graduation that are very devoted to a very specific theme. But I think with things like a bird cage, that could just be an everyday kind of image that is pleasant to look at. So that's what I aim for when I am choosing my different stamps from Craspire. So I've gone and heated up some more wax, and you can see here everything's lined up and ready to pour into place. I will go ahead and leave links down below if you're interested in any of these products: the furnace, the wax melts, the markers, the stamps themselves. All of these products come from Craspire, and I have the unboxing video from my latest order, but I have got quite a few products from them in the past as well. So continuing on here, getting some new melts in place to get in the furnace, so that when I'm taking my stamps off, those are already starting to melt, and then I take that time to color it. I think this one here ended up being one of my favorite cards, actually. I really liked the way that the design and the colors and everything about that went together. And I'm trying to match up the colors that pick up something from the background. So here I'm using a green because this is one of the few cards that actually has a green element. So you can see a little peek closer to what those ones look like there. I'll go through them later on as well and show you a closer up view at the very end of what they all end up looking like. This was one of my favorite design elements, and one thing I had to be very careful of when I put the card down the melted wax on top and then put the stamp in place. If I didn't firmly like set the stamp and make sure it was in place before I remove my hand, it would be kind of wobbly, like it would start to slide. And so I got better at that technique to make sure that I pushed it in place, and I was a little patient, just gave it a few extra seconds. Here I'm going to do something really ridiculous. When I decide to move over to my other set of series of melts, I drop the entire case. So I spent a few minutes picking those up and putting them all back in place. And in the end, I actually really love the colors that this created on the stamps. I actually think that those star ones have like a pearlescence to them that I didn't even realize was a part of those stamps, and you'll see that closer when I share them. I ended up not even coloring those ones to highlight anything because I didn't want to take away from the really pretty design of all the colors together. But I really enjoyed this little project, and I think it makes a fun Happy Mail gift to give to one of my friends, because it's something that you could put in if you were doing like pocket pages or a journal card in a traveler's notebook, or just tucking a little card into a greeting card that you were sending. There's so many different possibilities. So the fact that it has a nice little quote design or whatnot with a wax seal stamped image in place as well, I think is kind of a unique little project to work on. So I was really happy that I created these and how they all turned out and everything. So that was really good. So this is another one of my favorite ones because it's got such a strong quote and such a beautiful stamp. I was really happy with how all of these images came to be. So now I'll give you a closer look at all of the images from all of the cards that I created. I love that sort of design, how the arrows were pointing to it. There's my Happy Mail one. You have to be really careful that you have the stamps upright in designs that have a specific orientation. One of the ones I had a little lopsided owl, and it was too bad that I didn't realize that it slipped into that place, sort of thing. And that is all of them there. So I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you here as part of my crafty community. Go ahead and hit that subscription button as well as the notification bell so you're notified every time that I post a new video. Again, I'll leave a link down below as well as a coupon code for Craspire if you're interested in any of these products. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.